Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Swatim Kize and this is my channel. If you are a regular digger, a regular liker, a regular sharer, honey, welcome back, honey. Thank you so much for coming back once again. And if you're new, welcome back, or rather, welcome to the channel. Make sure that you click that subscribe button so you can join the regular diggers. Okay, my love. So today is quite a hectic week for me. It is exam week, so if my energy seems like a little low, I am exhausted. But that doesn't mean I'm too exhausted to create more videos for you guys, more helpful videos for you guys. So today I'm back with another video in partnership with Moreland University. And in this video, I thought, why not answer your most asked questions or your frequently asked questions, because I obviously can't get to all of them in the comment section. And I thought, let me make a video and put together all the questions that I see quite often when I post a Moreland related video or a Moreland related reel on my Instagram or whatever the case may be. So before we start, shout out again to Moreland University. You guys are doing amazing, empowering, and educating teachers around the world. All right. So the first question is, hi, I'm sorry. No, okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so before we start this video, if you guys don't know already, I am a Moreland University graduate. Moreland University is a US-based university that I enrolled with about 2 years back, and the aim for my enrollment was to kind of upskill myself and move from just being a TEFL certified teacher, but to a licensed or qualified teacher. And in that way, I could get better jobs, better job offers, and decide what I want to do that could help my career grow. So the first step for me was to getting that qualification, and for me, the Teach Now preparation certificate made more sense. It took 9 months. It was giving me the modules that I wanted, and I felt like I could walk away with really good skills that could really empower me. So yeah, if you're interested in enrolling in the Teach Now certificate or any of their master's programs, I will leave in the description box the link that you can click on to get more information about their courses, their tuition fees, as well as their modules. So look out for that in the comment section or in the description box. Okay, so I'll have all my questions here. I will put them on the screen as well. Please mind the background. I'm at work. It's my free. No, no, no. Okay. All right, so I have my questions here. Let's get started. Number one. Hi, sorry. I'm very fluent in English, but one of the conditions must be. Oh, this is a question. Hi, sorry, I'm not very fluent in English, but are one of the conditions that one needs to be proficient in English? So, should I proceed with the program even though my English is moderate? So, you will need to do an English proficiency test, especially if you're not coming from the major English speaking countries. So, I would recommend going on their site and clicking on their information about English proficiency tests. They just require you to do one just to assess whether your qualifications were completed in English enough, because the course is conducted in English, so it's obviously very important that you are a English proficient speaker. So yeah, there is ways for them to assess whether you will be able to pass that test or not. Okay, number two. Thank you. This is quite informative. I have a concern or a question. So, for the countries where you have to go through SACA to verify your qualification, where do we do it for this qualification? So, because this is a US qualification, you wouldn't have to get any authentication done for any jobs in the US, because it is recognized in many of the qualification boards. I would say that if you wanted to use it in South Africa, you could also, take it through to an international, equivalency agency that could give you that report that you could then produce to a university, rather to a school that you'd be applying to in South Africa, if they ask you to do that. Obviously, I know in South Africa right now, they're asking teachers to get all their qualifications processed through SACA because of the history in people doing fraudulent things with their degrees. So I also think it talks to where you want to go. If you want to be doing a Teach Now preparation certificate and you want to work abroad, to leave South Africa, I think that would actually help you a bit to get some experience, get your equivalency reports, and then use all of that to apply for jobs in South Africa. If you're wanting to do the Teach Now or the Masters and just and use those courses to stay and work in South Africa, I would say use an international equivalency agency to do that equivalency report for you, because that is still good enough, because that also still has that stamp of approval on the certificate. I hope that makes sense. That's what I would do. That's how I would do it. Okay, the next one. Thank you for this video, sis. Quick question. After completing your program, will you need to write the state's required exam for teachers? This is a great question. People get quite confused about this one, so I'm just going to reiterate it. So the Teach Now Preparation Certificate is a certificate that most teachers, or rather all teachers in the US, in their different states, need to take in order to kind of write a board exam or write a not right sorry get licensing for each state, right? So in the US, teachers can't teach everywhere. You need to get a license for each state, and each state, one of the requirements is to have a teacher preparation certificate. Now, when it comes to me, someone who doesn't want to do, doesn't want to teach in the States specifically at the moment, I'm very much into finding my feet in international schools, upskilling myself, getting the skill set, using the skill set that I got at Moreland to kind of get more experience. Now, getting the licensing does require you to understand the different states in America and what are the different requirements for each state. So that's not the path I chose to go through. I decided to do my Teach Now, and with my Teach Now certificate, I was able to get a job here. I am still able to get a job anywhere else, along with my TEFL, my experience, and if I decide to do a master's with that too. So it still is very strong on its own, you know what I mean? But you can take it a step further and do a praxis or do a licensing step. So why I'm always saying that I am a qualified teacher is because that certificate holds that value, you know what I mean? All right, so the next one is, which other countries can one teach besides China and the US with this teaching certificate? So this is a great follow-up question. Dubai, the UAE, Qatar, the UK, certain schools, where else? Saudi, around the world. I mean, at some point in my class, we had people who were in Thailand. We had another guy who was in India. So it's really, very diverse. You can use the course to study, or rather to work anywhere in the world. It is accredited worldwide. It is recognized. So yeah, sky's the limit. I have a record TEFL certificate. Can I apply to study online at Moreland? So unfortunately not, babe. You need to get a bachelor's degree, mainly because this course is not only for people who are teachers or who have a teaching qualification, a bachelor in teaching. These are people it's a course for people who also want to change careers. So if you are in marketing, or you are in accounting, or any other course, and you have a bachelor in that, then you decide, okay, I want to become a teacher. This is a great first step for you to start when it comes to career shifting. It's very hands-on. You can do it anywhere in the world. You don't need to go to a specific school or place to do your practicals. You can do them wherever you are and shoot videos. So it's not very limiting, and it allows you to do it wherever you are in the world. But you do need to have a bachelor's degree. So a TEFL won't be enough for you to apply. So yeah, definitely upskill yourself, and then go on and add this to your skills, all right? The next one. Hi, Spa. Thank you for the information or the informative video. Is Moreland teaching certificate also beneficial for online teaching jobs? Those that hire US, Canada, especially those that hire US, Canada, and US, Canada teachers only. So yes, you can use this Teach Now certificate to teach online. So it's both in online teaching and offline teaching. They train us for both. They definitely aren't as intense on online teaching, but I feel like sometimes we like to box online teaching and make it seem like we have to do less. But also, I believe as teachers, we can do more, especially in the online teaching space. We can make the classes more engaging. We have a whole module on the Teach Now preparation certificate on technology and using technology for learning. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Did you do this online? What if I'm a qualified teacher in SA with a SAY certification? Should I still be doing this program? I have a BEd, TEFL, and I'm qualified. So yeah, you sound like you are very qualified, honey. And I would honestly say you need to do a master's. Like, take it a step further. Do a master's. I would recommend a master's. You have the undergrad certification. You have the experience. You have the ESL, rather the TEFL certification. So do a master's. This is a great way for you to, it's going to be like a culmination of everything that you studied. You're going to put that to the test. You're going to do some research. You're going to be writing papers. So I would say do it. The next one. Hey, thank you for the information. How was your process of getting certified in the US? This is the part that is confusing me. Okay, so I think I've answered this question a bit. It is a process that needs for you to understand each state. The Moreland team does help students who want to get qualification in Washington, D.C. and other states. So what I would recommend that you do, because it is very different for each state, that you reach out to their administration team. So I'll put everything on the screen for you, and email them and give them kind of your background and what you want to do and where you want to go. I think the first step is figuring out which state you want to go to, and once you do that, you can get all the help you need from their team. So even if you're graduated and you're done, or you are thinking about applying and you're still wanting to get all the information, they are there to help you. They are there to answer your questions and to give you some guidance on that. All right. The next one. Hi, can one take the course without teaching experience? Change of careers? Absolutely. This is a course that is for career changes. They advocate for people who want to change careers. It's not too late for you to become a teacher. If you feel like that is your passion, that is what you've always wanted to do, this is a great first step to upskill yourself and move into the education space. The next question is, what is the difference between the Teach Now certificate and a PGCE? So this is the last question, and this is a question I get very often, and I feel like it also needs to talk about, or rather the best way to answer this question is you need to figure out, what do you want to get from what you are studying, right? I know we throw around the terms a lot, like I'm a qualified teacher, I have PGCE, I have this, I have that. What do you want to be able to do with your course? Do you want to work in South Africa in public schools, or do you want to work abroad in international schools? Because each one has a different qualification niche, you know what I mean? And, I am obviously not very clued up about the PGCE. I've never enrolled with one, but I've noticed that a lot of people who do it either find it very difficult to get teaching jobs abroad, or it's very difficult to do it remotely. So there are factors that are very dependent on where you are financially, where you are location-wise, what are your goals. So to answer your question in short, I think figure out what you want to do. For me, I knew that I didn't want to go back to South Africa, and I wanted to get a qualification that would allow me to work in any international school, because I realized that that is where I need to be. There's different curriculums, there's 21st century teachers, and more especially, there's a very non-traditional way of teaching that I love in international schools. So I knew that I had to get an international qualification, or a US or a UK or something like that. Even a bachelor's in education is still good enough. But you also need to understand, like, you need to read up about the different courses that you want to study. What are the modules? Because the modules that we did, for example, we did a whole module on differentiation. That is it's not a very, what's the word? It's not a very hot topic in education, especially traditional education. Kids are boxed. And in this course, we were able to really unpack, how do we cater to each child's need? And really, are we student-centered or not? We throw student-centered around very loosely, but are we learning in the courses that we're studying how to create a learner-centered or student-centered classroom? So you really need to figure out, like, in as much as you want to get a PGCE, from where? What are the modules? What are you taking away from it? You know what I mean? So it's super important for you to figure that out, because then you will stop trying to figure out what's the difference, but also it will help you figure out, okay, the people who want to study this is where they are going. Or the people who study this is where they are going. That's just my opinion. I think it's education courses of do overlap, but there are major differences between them. And if you are wanting to enroll with Moreland, understand that it's not going to be the traditional sense of teaching. It's going to be very modern, 21st century. You're going to be approaching the classroom in a different outlook, with a different outlook, and you're going to walk away with a skill set that not many schools understand, but a lot do, and they create spaces for teachers like that. And obviously, this is not the end. Like, you're not just going to do the teaching certification or the masters and stop there. You're going to keep upscaling yourself. I think having both a PGCE and a Teach Now certificate can really take you to the next level. I think sometimes we think, okay, let me just get this teaching certification and then I'm done. I think once you start having multiple different modules and different pedagogies and different systems and different things that can help you be a better teacher, that will really take you to the next level. So yeah, I hope that answered your question. So those are the questions that I wanted to answer. Those are the questions that really come up a lot on my videos. So I really hope that this was helpful. If you have more questions, don't be afraid to put them in the comment section. I'm going to continue talking about the school. I'm going to continue talking about education. I'm going to continue talking about teaching. And I believe that many of you that are following me here want to become teachers. So we're going to continue sharing with each other and helping each other as educators. So yeah, my loves, that's the end of my video. I want to keep it short, simple, and straight to the point as per usual. Make sure that you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.